Dream theater. What is that supposed to mean after all? I never get it. I mean, it's a theater that takes place in a dream or what? Anyway, in this video we are going to analyze one of the greatest songs of the band, which is Panic Attack. It is the 5th track of the Octavarium album that features a song to every single natural note key, as they were inspirational by the fact that this was their 8th studio album and that they had 5 live albums till then. Well, it starts with the bass alone, followed by the whole band playing the first part of the main riff, which is in C minor. The first phrase alternates between the minor third, the second, and the perfect fourth, while on the next 2 bars a flat second to 5th to perfect 4th little sequence is added, creating a great and simple variation. It's very fast and well executed. The second part of the riff is focused on the keyboards, which plays an arpeggio over G flat minor followed by F minor. This beat brings a lot of dissonant sounds into the piece, as it uses the diminished 5th of C as well as the second minor of it, promoted by the guitars on the last beat of the bar. This creates a very interesting kind of locking suspension in the main riff, provoking a short disturbing sound. The next riff strikes with a heavy 5/4 time signature, focusing on a C to D flat to B flat rhythm sequence with an E flat sus4 to B flat chord transition every 2 bars, until it finally gets on the first verses. As you can see, the locking sound is still preserved through this riff, as it contains its minor second, keeping the heavy harmony. The first verses continue that rhythm idea, as it has very look-alike bars in 5/4 and a transition leg, which is played on 9/8 instead. However, it simplifies the piece by taking that minor second I talked about. It's worth mentioning too that, in my opinion, this rhythm organization combined with the harmony provokes a desperate feeling in the listener that matches what Dream Theater was aiming for here. I tend to listen to this part as someone who's having shortness of breath, which is very unsettling, as the in-breath pauses for the vocalist take place only after the 5th beat of every measure. It's really well thought. Then we have a transition to the first pre-chorus, which doesn't resolve into the chorus just yet. It can be divided into 2 parts, as the first one would be an arpeggio series that starts with a beautiful B flat minor 9 chord on the lead. After the higher 5th note of the chord chromatically ascends to the minor 7th of it, we have a transition leg that brings an authentic cadence to that B flat minor 9 structure, which is played again, but with the bass following that 5th leap into the 7th this time around. Afterwards, a little locked sound passage that leads to the second part of the pre-chorus is played, bringing a kind of stability to the piece. Then we have the second part, which starts with a plego cadence from that little passage that leads to a subdominant degree cliche in this beat of the pre-chorus. There's a very interesting modulation here, as we are coming from a lockering kind of scale in the verses to a natural minor 1 again, as we even have the main riff from the intro here. That's an awesome line for sure. With this fake out to the chorus, the intro and the pre-verses riff are repeated, even though this last one is played based on a 6/8 time signature this time around, which it continues to these second verses that explores the lockering dissonant intervals once more. Continuing ahead, we finally have the beautiful chorus of the song, that features a little modulation from the natural minor to an harmonic minor, as the use of the major 7th B is iconic in this bit. I would say both the harmony and the melody expand themselves in a note-by-note pattern, bringing such an emotional moment to the listener that carries all the momentum into a chromatic ascent into the 5th. After this, we have the interlude section of the song that is based on a very interesting modulation of the circle of fourths. It really feels like you're stuck in a musical loop, as it shifts the musical key 5 times during this part. And I also should point out that this harmony also takes place on the background of the keyboard and guitar solos, featuring a lot of ups, downs, and chromaticism. Continuing from them, we have a very atmospherical pre-chorus, as it is played on the B flat minor key, with some very technical new licks, enhancing its sound and emotion once more. After the chorus, we have the last part of the intro, which is very similar to the intro, except that the drums here blast the final beat, taking the song into high levels of intensity, ending with an effective simple resolution to the root. Can you believe that this song was my top 1 Spotify song of the year? Well, if there's a reason, I would say that has a lot to do with the emotions brought through its powerful melody, creative harmony, and heavy rhythm. Dream Theater surely knew what they were doing when composing this song, and even if you are not into this prog metal thing, I'm sure you're gonna like it. Nevertheless, please check my other video and subscribe to the channel if you like this content. Take care and stay metal.